Hello. This presentation will be a presentation about the lesson plan to write a formuletta about the theme of health. The objective of this lesson is to build the students' understanding of the formuletta, which includes its uses in real life, uh, and for students to understand and remember the format of a formuletta, and for them to have the foundational knowledge of how to write a formuletta. By the end of this lesson, students should be able to familiarize with the format of a formuletta, and students should also be able to label the formuletta with the right formatting labels in the right order. This lesson will be based on Gagny's 9 events of instruction. This first step, which is to gain attention of the students, the teacher will show the students a YouTube video. The second step, which is to inform learners of their objectives. As stated before, the objective is to build the students' understanding on the formuletta, for them to know the formuletta and be able to write a formuletta in the near future. The students will be informed of this learning objective. The third step is to stimulate recall of prior learning, which in this case, students are led to correlate subject of the video with formulattas. For example, they are asked to characterize the subject of the video as elegant, precise, or articulate, and we will correlate these characteristics with how a formulatta should look like. For example, when the students are unable to determine the gender or position of the recipient, the they will refer to the recipient as someone who to whom it may concern. The fourth step is to present the content to the students. The teachers should present the content of the lesson to the students. Students will be presented with an example of a formuletta and related notes. These examples will be correlated to the theme of the topic, which is about health. The fifth step is to provide learning guidance. Teachers will explain the rules of thumb of a formuletta, which will include expansion of contractions, for example, I'm to I am, there to they are, and students will also be introduced to simple phrasal verbs such as talk about, to discuss, as well as how to open a formuletta and how to sign off a formuletta properly. In the elicit performance, students are given an exercise prepared by the teacher where they will label the formuletta the based on the lesson. In this part, the students will be given exercises to test their understanding of the formuletta, which will be shown later in the assessment and evaluation part of this presentation. The seventh part of this the seventh part of the instructional event is for the teachers to provide feedback to the students. The teachers will reveal the correct answers of the labeling exercise to the students. The answers of the exercises will be projected at the front. This is how a teacher will be able to assess the performance of the students. The student takes the teacher will then take in the level of understanding of their student, where so that they will be able to plan the next lesson accordingly. The sixth step is to enhance retention, where students will be allowed to bring back. The final step is to enhance the retention of the knowledge that they gained, where the students will be allowed to bring back the exercise sheet with them, where these sheets will act as a guidance for them in the future. On to the assessment and evaluation part of this presentation, where the students will be tasked with the labeling of the formuletta with the correct labeling. This will test the students' lower level thinking, skills of understanding, and their higher level thinking skills of applying based on the Bloom's taxonomy scale. That is all for this presentation. Thank you very much.